All right, what is up, my gents? How y'all doing? I hope this is gonna be broadcasting somewhere in workplace. Let me just here. I'm gonna run a little video from my one-on-one training with Garrett in January while I double check. Hopefully, this is going. Have to do a funny RTMP connection. So come on, I hope this is streaming. Where is this? Please tell me it's broadcasting. Why don't I see it anywhere in workplace? Where is it? Hmm. Man, come on. Nowhere to be found? Well, shit. All right, hang on a sec, guys. Bear with me. Apologies. Just want to double check that. Okay, I'll just go with it. I hope I'll be able to download the recording off of StreamYard when I'm done. I think actually up there, yeah. So Garrett had body, being, balance, and business written on the whiteboard for our. You know, this is one of the a clip from one of our intensive trainings for this. I did a 5-day intensive with Garrett back in early January. I told you guys, right? So I guess that's a good whatever segue into what I wanted to share with you guys today, which is, what is this warrior stuff all about, right? Why am I so gaga about warrior? And so truth be told, I've been participating at some level in the warrior brotherhood movement, whatever you want to call it these days. I mean, so the network, which is very similar to what we have with the Foundry, it's built on. I mean, there's a few different platforms, but the network is built on workplace, and but it's very active and thriving, which is what I'm excited about. Like I told you, I think there's about 1,550 guys in the men's group, and then there is a smaller women's group. There's a shared the fireside chat group, which is all of us, because for a weekly group call. But and then there's there's a video training platform. There's 6 different apps. But excuse me, there's the books. There's like 6 or 7 books now. Warrior really though is it's a philosophy. It's an operating system. And so I got started with the Warrior book, which I think I've shared tidbits from that with you guys before. Eric's got a copy, and so I'd be really interested to hear from you, Eric, if you get a chance at any point. Let us know if you've made much progress in the book, and if it's given you, if you've learned any valuable lessons from that so far. But Warrior changed my life. Like, no joke, no emphasis. I mean, it truly did for me, particularly because it came at a very opportune time in my life when I was going through some major challenges. My biggest pit that I shared with you guys on our calls the last couple months back, when my world fell apart because I had this dark web video fall in my lap, and apparently I was, well, through my wife, I was a couple, um, whatever, only a few people removed from some really dark shit, from pedophilia and sex trafficking, and anyhow. So that threw me for a massive loop. And I believe, as I told you guys, like, I didn't know whether I could trust even my wife at that time. And it royally, not only did it shake my world, but it pulled the rug out from under my feet. And so, and I was already stretched to my limits, trying to spin 100 different plates, running my businesses and trying to adapt to being a father. I had Jam and Chris in Thailand with me at the time. So we were already having to jump through hoops, like every 2 to 3 months, having to leave the country to work on our visas. Anyhow, et cetera, et cetera. Had a lot of stuff going on, and then throw that in the mix, and seeing what no one should ever see, and having it linked, at least in my mind, to my wife. I recoiled in fear and lived in paranoia. And I mean, my first reaction was intense anger, but it was like I've been on a lot of emotional roller coasters, but that was the biggest, And anyhow, so that's kind of where I was. I had encountered Garrett before. So Ian Borders, who's in our network, but he's not very active, But he had told me about Garrett. He had showed me that video that I uploaded for you guys here, whatever, a day or two ago, the Protocol One from the original. It was called Warrior Book, but it was a video. It was really cool. I think you can see it in that video at one point when they opened up this little thing, and it had like a video screen. It was all electronic, and all the lessons laid out in video training segments, and then there's the Warrior bit, which is just like a USB with all the audio. Actually, but I can give you access to that if you want, especially if you guys are gonna join this challenge. I'll give you the I can link you the Warrior bit, which is all the original curriculum. I'll share it, on the cloud with you. But anyhow, so I'd encountered it a little while before, but when that happened to me, I really, I'd listened to his podcast, Garrett's podcast. I think it was called Warrior on Fire back then. Off and on a couple times. I'd seen some of his videos, but it wasn't until late 2017 that actually Ian sent me the book, and I did start to read through it. And then like I've shared with you guys, I joined my first challenge, a 30-day challenge, back in June 2018. And every step of the way, I mean, it's a process of learning, because there really is. There's so much. Let me see if I have. There's so much to it. It's not overwhelming. I don't want to give the wrong impression, but there are a lot of elements to it. Here's the old game. What do we call it? Well, the Warriors Way playbook, with all the different kind of frameworks and elements. Anyhow, so I can share a PDF of that with you if you like. But there's a lot to consume, a lot to learn, And for me, surprisingly, when I got my hands on the book, I was, I guess, one thing that kind of, whatever, I was surprised like what I had on the video there, what Garrett had written on the board, the body, being, balance, and business. I think I told you guys, but do you see how that aligns kind of with my mindset, health, wealth, and relationships? So his system, he's got his 4 pillars. He calls it Warrior Core 4. I call mine the 4 pillars. And I'd actually come up with my kind of system for it. So I'd spent years, right, like searching the world for answers and frameworks and mental models and methodologies to not only build businesses, which is what I was largely involved in, from when I was working at the College of Business at my university all the way up until I was, in 2013, before discovering I had a son on the other side of the world, I thought that I was going to be a partner in a new learning institution down in Chile, Exosphere. So, and I was teaching a few mentees down there who were working on their prototypes, for new business ideas, their MVP, and kind of going through the early stage startup experience, right? So I mean, I'd been learning a lot of frameworks because any founder, any entrepreneur needs to find ways to be productive and maintain, the right environment, both physically and mentally, emotionally for themselves as you build a business, of course, right? But my path had taken me down, through experiencing so many different cultures around the world, especially, like, that's what brought me back to my old roots, the Joseph Campbell, Hero with a Thousand Faces, frankly, religious studies, and looking at comparative religions and finding, like, what are the journeys we go on and the frameworks that we build our lives upon. And so I had come to my 4 pillars in my own way. Actually, I think it's even in this book, Expert Secrets, Russell's book, Expert Secrets. I think he even. So I mean, I had seen parallels in my psychology studies, a lot of business material, and on some of my kind of spiritual pursuits, learning everything from the Bhagavad Gita to studying Hindu or Buddhism in Thailand, and anyhow, like, yeah, even Russell, when he goes into talking about, like, what kind of niche you're going to be in, what area, what industry, the 3 big ones in his book are health, wealth, and relationships, actually. But I at that point in my life, so I was teaching this to people who came along for my, my heroic escape at the time was what I was calling it, but my retreats in Costa Rica and predominantly in Thailand. But I was teaching this in 2015 down on the beaches in Krabi to my guys and gals that would come out, in my framework. What I had finally pieced together was, mindset, so in business, the big 3 are health, wealth, and relationships. It's pretty kind of self-obvious almost, but I thought the big missing piece as far as how to balance and manage all the different areas of my life, as a busy ass entrepreneur and as a father, I was trying to look for frameworks, like, how do I raise a kid when my life is a mess? How do I lead a family and a wife? How do I instill wisdom in others? And so I knew like, when my son was born, the very first thing was I knew I had a lot of work to do on myself to get myself a lot more, not just organized, but together, to really build a stable foundation for myself. And anyhow, the missing piece, as opposed to just looking at the business book, was what I decided. I labeled it in the end mindset, but it includes I mean, it's psychology, it's the power of your beliefs, your principles, your values, so that's kind of the mindset, but also to a degree your spiritual life. That's part of your beliefs too. So that one's, it's a big area, but in my own personal philosophy I had developed all up until 2016 when I opened the foundry, decided I'd try to rebrand and create this community. I had got to the point where I believe, and this varies a little bit from Garrett's system, but I think it all begins in the mind. It begins with your beliefs. It begins with your psychology, and the first thing is you've got to build a strong mindset or psychology. And we can get into conversations of faith if that interests you guys down the road. I mean, that is a conversation that is a growing one within the Warrior Brotherhood, which I find incredible, actually, just how things are going. And with this Circle of Kings call that I was on, like all these guys are like, faith is a growing piece for all of us. But what I love about Warrior, so in my view, right, I always said, yeah, it begins in the mind. You gotta kind of build a strong personal frame, personal psychology, beliefs about who you are, why you're here, where you're going. And then you can start to work on the outside of yourself. So that's the body, that's your health and your fitness and your nutrition. You sculpt that, you take good care of yourself, because that's your vehicle that carries you around through this life. And if you're doing that, okay, now you can start to build things and create value in the world and exchange with others. So you start to build a business maybe, or you have your career, whatever it is you do as a vocation, that's your wealth, your material well-being that you're able to create. And it's only when you're able to create some kind of level of material well-being when you really can truly extend out, and start to serve others, which is the relationships. So like in my case, like if I didn't produce, then I would not be a very good father or husband, like to lead, to have a family. You've got to really, you don't have to have a business, but you've got to have some vocation, some means of providing, right, for your loved ones, or even just for like giving back to your community in whatever way, like hiring employees, which is the latest stage that I've evolved into, and it's really rewarding. But also engaging in charity and social projects and good things for the community. You can't do that if you don't have some level of wealth established. So in my philosophy, there was kind of this almost a chronological order to them, starting with the mindset, extending outward to your health, and then your wealth, and then your relationships. So there is, I guess, kind of a hierarchy, but at the same time, there are also 4 pillars. I think you guys have all seen my early training video I did in the Foundry Accelerator group, where I I mapped all that stuff out, and these are the 4 pillars of your life, like you build those up and you maintain them, and you can build whatever the heck you want on top of it, whether it's a king's castle or a great temple, or whatever, right? To use a metaphor. So I was astounded when I did really start to dive into the Warrior book to learn what this core 4 was. And it's kind of not self-evident at first when you see body, being, balance, and business. I really like Garrett has this thing of alliteration. I think that's what you call it, right? Where he has a lot of frameworks where he uses the same first letter: body, being, balance, and business. Real, raw, relevant results, like a lot. And it's great because it really helps them stick in your mind. So I had tried to kind of convey that to you guys with my post from the other day. It was a short one. I just wanted to share because on fire from this call I had with these guys. I mean, fucking Sean Whalen was on the call. You know, a bunch of powerful men who I know, who you may not know these names, but I tried to include some links. These are like some of the biggest dogs who have ever come through the program. Sean Whalen was actually number 5. He was the first guy, allegedly, Garrett says, to sign up, but kind of dropped off and came in round 2. So anyhow, but we had Mike Isom, who was one of the first 4 students of Warrior back in 2012, I guess. Anyhow, a bunch of the OGs, and yeah, so it was really an honor to be part of that group. And I got to get up really early, like 4 in the morning, to do it. But yeah, I was glad that I was on there. So anyhow, I think my point was, yeah, I also mentioned in there, that short post I made. Oh, yeah, if I like, please try this. If you have come this far with me, and you guys have, we've been through a lot of shit together, and you have gone through a lot of my training, and taken a lot of my guidance and executed on it, a lot of it. If you believe in me, if you trust me to any degree, then please do yourself a favor and just fucking try this. That's why when I realized, I think it's only 3 days or something until this next Wake Up Warrior Challenge is the main, onboarding, kind of the first touch point to get into the shelter these days. I came in a little bit different because I've been using their products in different trainings for years. That's why I was on the 5-day intensive with Garrett. But for most men, pretty much your entry point today is the Wake Up Warrior Challenge. So as I described in my post, in case you didn't see it, that's about a 6-week experience. I forget, it's like 42, 43 days. I mean, they started with 30 days, basically like similar to what I went through back in 2018. But I mean, good Lord, they've expanded it. It's going so much deeper. It's perfection. It's perfection. Like I said, it's like when I got back into the network, and I just delved into the newest form of the curriculum. Like, I have it all already, the Warrior book from 2016 is the doctrine, the full doctrine, and everything that's out there is still just based off of that. But he's gone deeper and deeper. He's made video courses and audio courses and whatever. There's challenges for each of these different tools, weapons that we learn. But so it all begins with the Wake Up Warrior Challenge. So I did go through that back myself, which was kind of whatever. It was a review, but it was still, dude, it was a fucking phenomenal experience. I did mine in March, late February, March. And I think I was telling Eric a little bit, because he was asking me back then what I was working on and how things were going, and I was sharing tidbits with him along the way. And I mean, most of the work is easy, straightforward to do if you can set aside 45 minutes or an hour a day to watch a video or listen to some audios. Then and we do a lot of writing. We do these things called Discover Stacks, which is also a fantastic tool, just like for any content you consume, whether you're reading a book or you're listening to a podcast or you watch a video. I use the Discover Stacks during and after to take my notes now, because it just, all these tools are like great ways to structure, to frame life. But anyhow, so you go through this 6-week process, and I promise you, I guarantee you, I really do. I fucking guarantee you guys, like, you are going to get, if you at least give it the minimal effort and you go through it, do some of the work, some of the homework, and if you don't come out like totally feeling like you got your money's worth, even if you don't complete every homework assignment, you know, but if you put your the effort in and you can show me that you actually attempted to do this, if at the end of the challenge you decide you fucking hate it and you hate me, I will reimburse you your investment, okay? I almost said I wanted to pay for you guys to go through this, honestly, because I believe in it that much and it has transformed my life that much. But then I thought, no, I want you. You have to make the investment in yourself. You've got to put your money where your mouth is. You know, you've got to have some skin in the game. You really do. And so please do this. It's also why, like, I'm pushing it suddenly this week because I realized, like, yeah, this is the last time that you can get in the door for $100. They're going to be pushing the price point up to $297 for the next round. So there's 3 days left. So, you know, actually, let me see if I can find the, yeah, here, let me share. How do I get rid of this? Boom. Actually, real quick here, let me throw this up here. So this is the map. Okay, this is the map of where we're going. And if you guys will join this challenge, I'll go through it with you. They will usually accommodate, once you're in the shelter, they'll let me get in there. Hopefully, if I'm not. So I need to know from you guys if you're in or you're out. If you're in, after you watch this video, you know, leave a comment. Let me know you're in. But like I say, the time is ticking. So, but if I know that at least one or two of you is going to go through it, then I will jump in this group too. Like I said, I was part of Wake Up Warrior 6, and this is number 14. Started with number 15 after Sunday. So I think the cutoff time is Sunday, and then Monday they start. Okay, but after that, group 15 and beyond, the price is going up. So hey, you know, if you want to wait, fine. You know, that's perfectly fine. But I would just rather that you kind of got the chance to experience this for a minimal investment. You know, just give it a chance, and if it's not for you, it's not for you. And if you fucking hate it, then I will give you your money back out of my pocket. So here's the Wake Up Warrior Challenge roadmap. Oops. What is wrong here? Sorry. Still figuring this out, guys. Okay. So, it was originally kind of designed as a 30-day challenge. I guess there's 30 checkpoints or benchmarks, but spread out over 6 weeks, because there are some where you need a few days to plan and get yourself situated and get ready, because we do actually go through some physical challenges. We're gonna get you climbing mountains and, you know, hiking around and doing some crazy shit. So, but it begins on Monday. I think, what is that, the 25th or something? I don't know. But you know, first you have basic training, and it's basically a very simple 4 days to onboard you and start just talking about the basics of Warrior with some audio training. You download the audio app, and there's tons of stuff in there. But, you know, follow the process. Day 5, we go into the first general's tent. And so this is when, yeah, I think you're introduced to the stack. And I've talked about the stack, you know, quite a lot with you guys, actually. If you tuned in for those videos, last time I did a live broadcast, I told you, you know, go back and revisit my stack training that I went through with Eric last year. That was kind of, you know, it's dense because he and I both share our personal stories and fears and limiting beliefs that we were kind of working through at that time when COVID was still kind of new and we were all getting used to the lockdown. But if you dive into that, you'll see all the series of questions, and that's basically leading you through what's called a mega stack now. But that was the original, like the full stack from the Warrior book. And now there's lots of kind of different kinds and smaller, quicker. Anyhow, but you get an introduction to the stack. So it's basically a journaling process that can help you when you're, dealing with rage or anger or irritation, or if you want to document things that make you happy, and you can do gratitude. And this is like powerful gratitude journaling. I've been doing gratitude journaling for years before I even encountered Warrior. But what I was doing back then, like it's child's play compared to what I'm doing now. So I try to stack every single day, at least once, mostly to process out the negative emotions and just keep my head on straight. And believe me, there's a lot. If you guys don't know, especially as a parent, and trying to run a business and be married and have kids, that's what Garrett calls the trifecta of insanity. So it is easy to become overwhelmed with stress and emotions and negative stories in your head. So the biggest thing that Warrior has done for me is it has just given me jet fuel to be able to rewrite my stories. And again, and I'm not new. You guys know, like I've been doing the psychology stuff. I've been doing spiritual studies and practice. I've been doing, following Campbell and Jordan Peterson, and just you've seen my work. Like this is what I do. Like I look at narrative storytelling, both for in myth, right, with Campbell, and how it applies to like the customer journey and marketing, but also how it applies to ourselves. Our own journey that we're on, and how we need to rewrite our story to become a more powerful person, to develop more personal power. So I'm not new to this stuff at all, but I'm telling you, Warrior has it on lockdown. There is nothing fucking better than these tools in existence. Period. Nothing comes close. So, sorry, I'm getting off track, but the first general stent is your introduction to the stack, and you start using it to go to work on yourself. Okay, and then we go up the mountain, and the first real challenge week is the battle for the sword. So the sword is the stack. So this is like real deep working on yourself and delving into your insides, to figure out who you are and what's holding you back and what matters to you and where you're going. And if you're successful, then you earn your sword, and then we advance to the next section. And the second general tent, and week 2 is about the core 4, and that's what I was telling you: body, being, balance, and business. So let's see if I can get myself back on here. There we go. So body obviously kind of parallels up to what we mean when we discuss health. That one's pretty straightforward. Being is Garrett's label for what I would call mindset, but it's a big area, and it's very tied up in your personal beliefs, and for many of us, your faith. And Garrett is becoming more vocal about his personal belief, and I appreciate that, and I find it inspiring. But what I love about Warrior, if that turns you off at all, like just give it a chance. But it's a brotherhood where everyone is welcome. I mean, the lead trainer for Warrior, Sam Falsafi, is Muslim, right? And there's plenty of Jewish brothers, and I mean, everyone is welcome. And I mean, a lot of people are not, myself included, are not very dogmatic. We're not churchgoers or anything. But I think every man deep down inside has some kind of a spiritual belief, And I had been developing my spiritual life quite a lot over the last several years. But another big benefit of Warrior for me has been it really has bolstered my connection to the divine for myself, and it's the system is beautiful because it's flexible enough to fit any man, and what the tools do, the stack, it connects you to your own whatever your conception of like you know some some would call it divine inspiration, or some would call it like just accessing your higher self. um I think I'd shared with you guys this idea of the what's it called, the I am mastermind. That's an advanced level warrior. So I won't go too deep, but connecting in your heart and in your mind to like your closest conception of the best person you could be. The King Adam, King Rico, right? King Dwight, and like if you had everything you wanted, if you were pursuing your purpose, you know, living your purpose, right? And if you were your best self, like what are the decisions, the choices, the actions you would take from that standpoint, right? So all these tools, but especially the stack, over time, I swear to you, it really does develop your intuition, your inner guidance system, and it connects you to some kind of power. I don't know, like everyone has a different label for it, but some kind of inner power. So all the answers are in you. It's not Garrett giving us answers. It's not Garrett telling us what we should do. Warrior just provides tools. And the amazing thing about the tools is their ability to help you access like the truth inside of yourself. So, so that's the second general stint. And then the battle for the shield, I got off track again, but so the shield is the core four. Yeah. Body, being, that's what I was explaining, being, right? Balance is predominantly for a lot of men in the brotherhood, it's family. So when it started, Warrior was aimed at married businessmen with kids. But I will say there's a lot of guys in there who don't have kids and a lot of guys who aren't married. So it's, again, it kind of, these tools fit all sizes, but the balance area can be your relationships, whether it's a girlfriend or a boyfriend in some cases, or whether it's business partners, employees, your extended family, your parents, your brothers and sisters, people around you, right? It we work daily on all four of these areas, and obviously business is straightforward. That's our wealth, right? So body, being, balance, and business is the warrior framework, the core four. And every day we go to war, trying to hit our core four before we hit the door. And in other words, we make small investments in all of these areas of our life on a daily basis to build those four pillars in my parlance, and keep a strong connection, a strong foundation in all four of those areas. So that's your battle for the shield. Is learning how to do the daily execution, creating even just a simple protocol for yourself, a morning routine, basically, that kind of helps you make investments in each of those areas in whatever that looks like for you. And then there's the third general's tent, which is actually where those final four missions, they're spread out over I think 8 or 10 days. So you've got 2 or 3 days for each one, but that's where you are going to be sent on some physical missions, doing stuff out in the world. And you will, I was telling Eric, like you will need to find, a hiking trail if possible. You might want to do one day going up a hill or a mountain. There's some swimming, and anyhow, hopefully now it's a great time. Back in February wasn't that great for a lot of people in the northern hemisphere, but I think now it's a great time to get outdoors. So be prepared for that at the tail end, the final week of your experience. There are going to be some more intensive missions where it's going to take you several hours. I mean, I was spending probably at least 3 to 4 hours on those, but they were the most transformational evolutions, as they call them. And that, even though I've been playing the warrior game for a couple of years, and I know this stuff, I know the doctrine, the philosophy, those experiences made a radical change in my life back in March. So, and then if you experience some change that you know are excited by just as much as I was, that's when you can advance onto what's called the Warrior's Journey. There's the 4 summits inside of Warrior Shelter, where we go even deeper, learning the warrior's way, learning these tools and applying them in your life. And then there's soul purpose, and there's warrior wealth. There's strategic seduction, which is just a phenomenal. I mean, it was designed for marketing and sales, but I'm going to be going on a deep dive in the coming months, actually using it on my wife. Like running game, I guess, on my own wife. I mean, our relationship has been improving by leaps and bounds over the last year, especially in these last 5 months or so, since I've really been active with my warrior stuff again. But yeah, I'm committed to running game on my wife, but I'll be doing a deep dive into strategic seduction, both for relationship purposes and for business, for marketing and sales. It's a method of persuasion, right? So there's strategic seduction. There's big money marketer. If you get in on time, you can get that for free as part of your membership. There's a bunch of training. But I'll save that stuff for later. So anyhow, beyond this, if you enjoy the Warrior Challenge, if you get something out of it, if it's the right fit for you, then you can choose to join the shelter. So to be upfront with you, I'll tell you right now, when you get to that stage, I believe, I don't think that they're upping the price for that, but I believe for you guys, if I'm wrong when it comes out, forgive me, but at the time I went through, they were offering, you could get a yearly membership for $2,000, or I think you can do it monthly for 200, something like 200 or 197, one of those. So it's a essentially it's a $200 a month investment, right? I when I signed up for my intensive, I actually I've already made at least $3,000 financial commitment to this stuff, and there will be more, because I think I mentioned to you guys I'm on the path to what's called Warrior Leader Program. So I'm going all in on this, and I do believe that, I hope my audio is okay. I do believe that yeah, I'm basically going to be doing what I have been doing with you guys, but within the Warrior Shelter sandbox in a large degree, and building on their frameworks, because the truth is, yeah, Garrett's got just some remarkable tools and learning frameworks, and he's figured it out. Like, there was not very much of this that was like new per se, but he's figured a way to tie it all together in a cohesive operating system that just fucking works. It just works. So real quick, let me let's see. I'll show you a quick yeah, here we go. Boom. So this is kind of like So the Wake Up Warrior Challenge happens in a Facebook group, a private Facebook group, and so that's where you'll be getting all your daily missions and training and interacting with other members. And if you decide to join the shelter at the end, then they'll onboard you into their workplace, right? But you can see here, yeah, there's the onboarding protocol, the basic training, the General's Tent 1, the Battle for the Sword, the General's Tent 2, the Battle for the Shield, the General's Tent 3, and then actually every week, I think they're still doing it, every week there's a weekly live training for you guys in the challenge. So it's, I mean, yeah, I've been in Warrior for a while, but I had never gotten the full experience because actually going through this challenge, I bonded with other men, and so those who did, I was already in the Shield, but those who joined Shield after Warrior Group 6, like those are some of the guys who I interact with regularly, and once you get in there, if you guys do decide to join shelter, I will kind of guide us all, and we can create our own small group within the confines of the shelter. So there will be Delta Force, inside of Warrior Shelter. But and then here is like my page of just all the videos that I did for, I don't know if the internet's getting bad. I hope I'm coming through. Good Lord. That's real bad. Anyway. So yeah, you can see, for each of these missions, we do a 2-minute debrief video. So that's kind of, and then there's a lot of interaction in the comments and just getting to know each other. And so if you guys want to embark on this and join the next challenge here starting Monday, I will send you a daily message and I'll share my debriefs. And yeah, let's see. What's the countdown? 3 days and 12, so 3.5 days left. Yeah, so the deadline is midnight on Sunday. I think that's California time, May 23rd, and it begins Monday the 24th. So yeah, that's the last chance. So yeah, this was the email that Garrett sent out the other day. I'm done. It's official. Now that we're about to hit the milestone of 7,500 students of the Wake Up Warrior Challenge, I'm done giving all of this away for just $100, but there's still time for you to take advantage, because I'm not going to triple the price until the next challenge group kicks off after May. So yeah, actually, so this group kicks off May 24th, and I guess that puts it, just in time to have your graduation, I think, hopefully with Coach Sam on 4th of July weekend. So Independence Day. So there you go. Declare your independence. Yeah, I wish that this was streaming live in the group. I think I messed something up with the RMTP settings, or I don't know. I apologize, guys. I hope I can get the recording of this and I'll just upload it. But I do wish that, I know Adam, I'm sorry, man. I know you said you were around, and I was hoping to set it up so at least you guys could pop on and type in any questions in the chat. But anyhow, yeah, I can't say enough about this. And this I'm gonna be in Warrior for forever, probably. It is a commitment. I told you, right? If you decide to join shelter, it's basically it's $200 a month. But honestly, it is so worth it. So in thinking about what to do with the Foundry these last several months, but I basically decided in January, when I really went deep and joined and got involved in the shelter, and seeing what they had built, I was just flabbergasted because, it's like this really is kind of the dream I had for what I would love to have turned the Foundry into, but I could never do what they've done all by myself. Garrett's got a great team and a lot of case studies, a lot of men who have gone through the program and had great success. And it really is just, there's a lot of guys starting out from low on the mountain, just like we are, but there's a lot of very, very powerful, successful dudes in the network as well. And there's all kinds of different perspectives, and it's somewhere. So this is why I've totally retreated from social media. I'm almost inactive, except for in my Jordan Peterson group. And it's why you guys didn't hear from me like at all. At first I told you I was really mourning my mother, of course, and I was quite busy, hands full with the baby for the first couple of months, but and I still am. But especially since January, I've just gone all in on this, and I've just been working on myself, guys, and I do this every single day. And so having a private network to go to rather than social media, but where you can connect with other men who are facing similar struggles, doing the deep inner work, building big shit, businesses, family, leading their communities. And you can go and share, and ask questions and get like good advice. The best advice is priceless. There's the weekly calls with Garrett, and you don't always get on with him directly, but it's always a tremendous amount of value on a weekly basis. It just fuels me with fire every single week. That's the fireside chat. And, occasionally, if you're on the call live, you might get lucky and actually get his one-on-one input on a situation that you're facing. So, there is some access to him even that way without kind of going to the higher levels of the network. But I guess the main thing, let me show you real quick, one more time here. No. Here, okay. So the biggest benefit is the tools. It's the apps and it's the philosophy behind them. So again, like even if you decide not to stick with it, you can still, I'm certain you can still get a lot of value and you can adapt this in your own way, a lot of these things. But what I pay for is the apps that I use every single day. So this is the Core 4 app to kind of track the different activities you do every day, and you get scores. So it's like gamifying your life, and you go back and you review every week, and you try to push yourself, to be a little bit better every day. This is the Stack app, and you can see all of my hundreds of stacks. A lot of them have the word fuck in the title, but there's these different kind of stack: the mega stack, angry stack, irritated stack, happy stack, gratitude stack, misproduction, discover stack, like I was telling you about, war stack, idea. So these are like for building out war plans in your business, which are great. I use the war stack every week. idea stack to break down, ideas, whether it's in your business or wherever, different things. So that's the stack on this is the desktop, of course, but they're all on the phone too. And then there's the door, which I'm using right now. But this is what I use to keep track of all my to-do items and get shit done. It's helped me be 4 or 5 times more productive in the last couple months. And then there's the game. So there's, I'm on to summit number 2 inside of the shelter. And so we kind of track our progress going through these benchmarks. I'm learning about radical results. You'll get this app, and so there's the warrior challenges in here too. I don't know where my map is, but then you can track your progress and your metrics, and that's the coolest thing. At the end of the week, you get to look back and look at your results, and it's really like gamifying life, for lack of a better way of putting it. It really is. But so anyhow, if you guys decide that you are in and you would like to experience this warrior challenge, starting Monday, I'm sorry that I didn't realize it was creeping up on me so fast. But if you join, I will go through with you. And, number one, I will share at least a daily message and give you all of my debriefs from what I took away, as someone who's been kind of involved. I think it'll give you a little more advanced perspective based off of someone who's been learning this stuff since 2017. So I'll share my videos that I did going through every stage of the Warrior Challenge. And I'd love to do a weekly call with you guys as well, and kind of, debrief what you're learning from this and just the struggles and, goals that you're working on in your life on a weekly basis for these next 6 weeks. So when I got in there, I thought I could never build something like this, and why would I even want to? I don't want to recreate the wheel. So it was a bit of a painful process for me to let go of my own thing, my baby, and kind of have some humility and realize, like, Garrett's figured out a lot of stuff that he's, and the team has executed flawlessly with these apps and the books and the courses and the challenges and the network, all of it. It's got all of the polish that I never could, muster with all of my responsibilities and hardly any team. So I decided to join forces with them, so that's what I'm working towards. And truth be told, I really did think long and hard about it, because, so number one, I want to recognize Eric, because it's been, I think, several months now, but a while back, Eric insisted on contributing $100 to me just out of the goodness of his heart. I didn't ask for it, but he was getting a lot of value out of what we were doing with the MasterMind group. And so thank you, Eric. That really meant a lot to me. I appreciate that a lot. And it's like, it's not the $100 makes or breaks anything, but it was the gesture. It really meant a lot to me. So thank you. And in thinking about how on earth I could develop up our accelerator program here and our platform to even provide anywhere near the value that you would get just going to Warrior, it would take me thousands and thousands of dollars a month. And I have really loved and enjoyed doing what we've done together with our group. Um, but at this point, mostly due to my not failure, but just my inability to move as fast and make as big a moves as I wish I could have, and just all the other elements that life has thrown at me. Um, yeah, I would not only need to cover the increasing cost of workplace, which is going up to like $500 a month, or whatever. But I need to pay my team to help me work on this. Like I've got the Visa team, but they're busy, and I've dabbled with getting them more involved in this side of what I do, my coaching work and stuff. But it takes a lot of training, and really, truth be told, I need to go find some people who specialize in business, and I need to find some high level people, and I am working on that. But to place that burden on just the four of you guys, who've been really active at the red hot core of the foundry so far. We got like 80 some members, but by and large, you guys are the only active ones by any stretch of the imagination. We got a couple people logging in and checking things, once a week, maybe, well, every couple of weeks. But to place the financial burden on your guys' shoulders, it's like, I mean, I would not only would I have to at least at bare minimum charge you $100 a month just to keep doing what we've been doing. I would need to get you to go all in with me and be more involved at a higher financial commitment on something. And I would love to do that if that's something you want to do. I am looking to offer something bigger as far as coaching, probably starting in maybe July or so. So that the path is open if it interests you. But honestly, I thought rather than giving me $100 or $200 a month to just keep doing what we've been doing, I would rather you go down the warrior path and spend your $200 for warrior. You're gonna get 100 times more value out of it than I could ever hope to provide. And so yeah, I'm a partner, and as a whatever, I guess it's a referral partner. So if you will purchase with my link that I share with you, then I do get a little. I think I get 20%. So it's not much, but you sign up today and pay your $100, I'll get $20 of that, or whatever. Maybe it's $40 for the challenge, but it's a little bit, and it's enough that I'm happy to, like I say, get on the phone with you guys once a week for this next 6 weeks. But if you'll go all in on the system, on this way of life, then I would love to continue that relationship and weekly meetings with you guys once you get on the inside as well. And I think we'll be able to level it up together once you go through this training, once you're equipped with these tools, you will start to become fucking unstoppable. And if we're all unstoppable together, the four of us, the five of us, we could do a lot of damage. We could really start to build some shit, whether it's together or individually. But I do want to keep our Delta group going, but it's going to be inside of the Warrior Network from now on. And I will be marketing this, sharing this more, as I'm going to be providing my own coaching and experiences as well as a value added partner in the near future. But I hope to kind of introduce this to a lot of other men in our community, even if all they do is just take the challenge or just join the shelter. But yeah, I'll get a small kickback, and so I'm willing to provide you guys some added value on top. So yeah, disclaimer, that's like a referral link, but I actually want to. I want to. What I'm gonna do is this. I'm going to share kind of a sneaky back end link with you, which was the shelter link when I first went through my intensive, the creator challenge, and it's the offer is not available anymore. It's past the deadline, but I think it'll it'll redirect you, and you can see another deep dive video if you still need more. If you still need more convincing, but it's really worth watching this one. The creators not takers movie that Garrett did, really really good stuff, and it'll give you more kind of context for what he's about and what we're working on inside of Shelter. Um, so yeah, so I will attach that link after the broadcast here. So look for that. But yeah, you've got the weekend to make a decision. 3 days, 11 hours, 46 minutes. um, yeah, you're gonna get 40. What is it? 42 days of the experience. You're gonna connect with a lot of other men through the challenge. You're gonna get some of the apps on your phone as part of this. I think you get the audio app, the Core 4, the Stack, and the game. Um, Temporarily, unless until you decide to continue. Yeah, five. Yeah, it's right here. 5 live debrief and training sessions. So they are still doing. There's a weekly live call. Man, if I could remember, I think it's morning or midday once a week for you guys, so it shouldn't be hard to get on. And by the way, if you're concerned, I mean, obviously, I showed you my profile from the Wake Up Warrior Challenge Group 6. Like it says, 42 days of access to the Wake Up Warrior Challenge Facebook group. Like you get to keep access forever. So even if you don't decide to join the shelter afterwards, like you'll always, and even if for whatever reason, like you can't keep up with the pace, and you don't get to get through all the training and you want to, you can always refer back to that training. It'll always be there. But I think like a couple days, you get like the weekend after graduation and they turn off commenting. So basically, like you can always refer back to that stuff just for your information. But like you'll, at least so far, like this was from March and we still have access to the group. And I know that the group 5 is still out there. But so you'll have access to the training for, I think, indefinitely, but you just won't be able to keep like posting your live videos or whatever. I mean, I think you can even still comment on existing posts, but you can't make posts. So anyhow, so you don't have to keep up. Like I think Eric, you were saying like you're pretty busy the rest of this month. But like I was saying, like the first week is really, really chilled out. It's like minimal. Like they really ease you into it. So the first 4 days are just like dipping your toe. And but by the end, yeah, the final week, like it's pretty intense. Not gonna lie. Like I was saying, it's like you'll be out in the world, climbing mountains and shit. So there, it will take some commitment. I guess the last week of June leading into beginning, first couple of days of July. And you'll graduate for Independence Day. But yeah, if you want to check out these case studies, I reviewed a lot of these before I went all in, dropping a couple of grand. Nick is one of the ones that I was on the phone with the other day. Anyhow, this AZ. Anyways, so let's fucking roll. In Garrett's words, yeah. Step one, watch that Warrior Expansion movie if you didn't yet. But actually, I will post a link. I don't know where it's going to be, down below or above. I guess it's probably going to be above here on Workplace. Check the link in the description. I'm going to send you the Creators Not Takers movie. And yeah, accept your invitation. And let's do this Wake Up Warrior challenge. I'll go through it kind of alongside you guys and be here to answer any questions you have along the way. Fill in, any blind spots for you. I'll share, like I say, my videos and my debriefs from every step of this roadmap, this path, and get on the phone every week with you guys again. So think about what day of the week would be good for that. I think we were doing, what was it, Monday evenings for you guys. But I don't want it to conflict with the with your Wake Up Warrior Challenge weekly calls. So anyhow, it's I think you'll get in there and you'll find it's probably the best $100 you'll ever spend on yourself too. But like I say, if you go through it, you give it a real chance. I want to see that you actually put in some effort. You did some of the homework. But if you really tell me that you fucking hated it, I will give you your $100 back. Okay? But I would love to get at least two of you going. Two, maybe three if possible, and all four of us get our heads down for the next 6 weeks and just share this stuff with you. I'll start sharing the advanced stuff. I mean, you're gonna have a lot to digest, but like if you want, if you've got the capacity, I'll start sharing some of that strategic seduction stuff. I can start sharing a lot of. I'm still working on funnels, and one bonus if you join the shelter is the Big Money Marketer Challenge, which I would love to go through with you guys. But I'm also happy to just start sharing some of that in our weekly calls if you're working on marketing and sales funnels at all. But yeah, I think that covers it. I've probably gone long enough. But let me know if you guys have any questions. I hope that answers most of them. That was a pretty thorough sales pitch for a warrior, huh? But yeah, I mean, I swear, this stuff changed my life back in when I started reading the book in 2017. It really had a huge impact on me in summer 2018 when I went through the King's Challenge, which is not available anymore. It was a little different, but this is phenomenal. They really do have it just dialed in perfectly. And yeah, since getting back in the shelter and doing that intensive with Jared in January, things have just skyrocketed for me. And like I shared that video with you guys that I'd made for my brothers inside of the network, inside the shelter, because we live by the code. It's about telling the fucking truth. And the more you do this work, the more you work on yourself, the more you discover, like, oops, that's not the one. I want this one. You discover new layers, I guess, of like bullshit you're telling yourself and others. But since really going all in, it's like I'm ready to be real and get raw, and I will be sharing my story. I want to thank all of you guys. I guess it was Eric, and I think Rico to a degree, and I think Adam, you were on the phone for one of the calls where I really started to open up about what happened to me in whether it was late 2016 or 17, early 17, I forget, but right around the early 2017, that darkness I've been carrying that around for ever since, not knowing. I share it. I have shared it a little bit with a few people, in person, people close to me, of course. But it's this weight that I was carrying for the last 4 years, not knowing what the fuck to do with it. And the truth is, it is. I'm still afraid to talk about it because I know no one wants to hear about it. However, it made me who I am. Like, what the fuck can I do? Like that's my story. And so that's a big part of the reason also why, like, I have still pushed forward as best as I can, trying to carry my burden, as Jordan Peterson would say, up a mountain. Still trying to be productive and build something and help you guys, help others, and formulate my own coaching system, essentially, my own mindset training, and create a space, a community for people who are going through the trials of life and trying to build big things of their own. But I guess the truth is, like, yeah, once I kind of submitted to the process, and maybe it was a little bit of ego, but it's hard to, like, I didn't want to get too involved in Warrior because I felt like what I was trying to build and do was so similar that I didn't want to steal ideas, from Garrett. But once had my intensive and I really started to self-reflect and make some big decisions, it was obvious. I don't know why it took me so long resisting, but it's like, better to if you can't beat them, join them, right? So that's why I'm on a mission working towards Warrior Leader and becoming part of their ecosystem and bringing my voice and my perspective there and helping a lot of guys in that community. So if you do choose to join the shelter, you will see a lot of me in there. I'm almost in there every day, and I invest a lot of time for free, like just doing what I do. But I did realize earlier this year that, like, the truth is I'm trying to be this leader and lead, kind of feeling sometimes like I'm dragging the weight of my family and my whatever people around me and customers to a degree up a mountain trying to lead when I still have a lot of work to do on myself. And the truth is I'm not strong enough to lead in this time. Not to the huge degree that someone like Garrett is, someone like a lot of these men, but I am 100% confident that I'm on the path to building myself up to be like these guys, like Sean Whalen, like Pedro Adeo, and Jesse Ewell, and all the great men who've come out of Warrior. Um, and yeah, man, nothing in my life has ever just filled me with the kind of fire and power as being part of the brotherhood. And I'm still learning and applying and adapting and building my consistency with all the routines, and cleaning up my act and actually doing the work. But like I said before, it's like my productivity has gone through the roof, skyrocketed these last several months. And I'm building all the core four, all my four pillars. Definitely seeing huge results in all areas. Definitely. And oh, this is yeah, this is powerful shit, guys. So I really, like, I just, yeah, I I don't want to charge you money to be part of what I'm doing anymore. I would rather you pay Garrett, even if I didn't get a cent from it. But invest in yourself and believe me, I have gone through a lot of training, a lot of experiences. I've learned from many people, tried many different things. This is the best shit out there, guaranteed. Because, like I said earlier, it's like it gives you direct access to find the answers in yourself, and it gives you like root access to rewrite the code of the matrix, man. Like to rewrite your stories with, it's like, this is what I've been trying to get at all this time, my own way, but I've been doing it through studying books. And yeah, Garrett is miles ahead. He's broken it down to a science. You just follow the fucking process. It's brain dead simple, but it is hard to do. You know, that's the challenge. It's hard to do the work, but if you will do it, the results are fucking guaranteed. Guaranteed. Rewrite your story, become a new man, be reborn, resurrected. So that's what I've been working on, and I'm committed to the long haul. So actually, yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you guys come into the shelter, you know, at that point in July, let's talk about our 18-month impossible game, you know, that we can all kind of work towards together, or encourage each other towards our own impossible game. There's a fact map mastermind inside the shelter actually, I think they're doing it every month now. So anyhow, that's for down the road. But it's funny, like it's remarkable how many of the things that I've been essentially building and, you know, attempting to deploy, how much similarity there is and overlap within Warrior. The 90-day challenges, the weekly review, the core four. You know, I mean, it's not stuff that Garrett invented, and he'll be the first to admit that. But he did put it together in just like one cohesive, beautiful system. And yeah, I use it every day to kick ass. So I hope you'll join me. And if you do have any, you know, remaining questions, let me know. All right. But you guys have I'm off. I'm working my tail off today and tomorrow to get ready, but I am off early Saturday morning. I won't be available, actually. Your whatever that, I guess, no, how is it? Saturday morning. So that's your Friday. But anyhow, you've got the next 36 hours, I think I'll be around. But I'm going for the weekend. I'm taking my family to, we're actually going to get off the island for the first time in 15 months, go island hopping, and we're staying for 2 nights, 3 days in Pamilican Island. Hopefully we'll see some dolphins, and there's no internet, and I'm not bringing any work with me, no laptop. Going to go off the grid. So I will be unreachable over the weekend, but I will be back in time for your Monday. But yeah, make a decision, in or out. You know what I think the best choice is. So I do hope to see you guys inside there. But let me know, you know, shoot me a message and let me know if you do decide to buy. And I'll, you know, get you set up so I can share some, you know, what I'll do if you join, I'll create a little Facebook group for us where I'll start to share some of my stuff. You'll also get, obviously, the Wake Up Warrior Challenge Facebook group, and I'll probably, as long as I know you're going to join with a little time left, I'll probably be in there too, but I'll set up just a group for the 4 of us or whatever, and so I can share things with you there. And actually, that's what we'll start to build, because I've been telling you, we're gonna eventually dial down our workplace here, probably in July. But I'll start to, you know, put things in a Facebook group for us. So anyway, that's a lot. Sorry so much. All right, thanks for bearing with me, guys. But I hope you're all doing fantastic, and I hope to hear from you. Let me know if you got questions in the next day. And I hope to see you in the challenge on Monday. So have a wonderful weekend. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.